It's just crazy how one small change caused me to experience the most romantic moment of my life. Hello ladies, I am so glad that you have clicked on this video because today we're going to be talking about a topic that I have spoken to so many women about. There are so many women who struggle with their husband being not romantic enough and really lacking initiative in the romance department, and it can really cause a strain on your relationship. I know that I've struggled with that before, and today I just want to talk to you guys about it, and I want to give you some tips and tricks that will hopefully change your marriage for the better. Before we jump right into it, I just want to say this is not a video for people who are genuinely unhappy and feel unloved and neglected in their marriage. If that's you, I've linked a video in the description that will be a lot more helpful for you than this video. This is a video for women who know that they are in a healthy, loving relationship. They just need a little bit of help in this area. The first thing I want to talk to you girls about, which maybe is not something that you want to hear, but it's such an important question to ask yourself. How have you been treating your husband? Have you been treating him with patience and kindness, or have you been being a little bit critical and harsh on him? It's okay if you have been. We've all been there, and it's okay to admit it, because once we admit it, that's when we can change our behavior. Life can be super stressful sometimes, and it can be so easy to start snapping at your husband and nitpicking him a little bit, and sometimes we can harbor resentment and it can come out in certain ways and they can sense it. The thing is, if we're showing any level of hostility towards our husband, why would romance be his response to hostility? It can be a really tricky thing to navigate, because for us women, it can feel like, well, I would complain less if he put in a little bit more effort. But then to him, it might feel like I would put in a little bit more effort if she just complained less, which makes this whole situation to be an endless cycle, and it takes one person to break it and to act in a certain way even when they're not feeling like it. The next thing that I want to talk about is something that has absolutely transformed my life and my marriage and made me so much happier and made my husband so much happier. I learned to romanticize my own life. I went through a period of time where I felt so frustrated because Joshua was never buying me flowers, never planning surprise dates. He wasn't doing the romantic kind of gestures that he used to do when we were dating. And I would talk to him about it, and I'd ask him to do some more things like that for me, and then he'd say that he would, but then he'd just forget. It would slip his mind. He wouldn't do it. And I started to feel forgotten. I felt not prioritized, and I just felt not important. One of my close friends, her husband, he bought her a vase when they were dating, and he always makes sure that that vase is filled up with flowers. And they've been married for almost 2 years now, and that vase is never empty except when he takes the flowers out to put the new flowers in. And as someone who has always loved rom-coms, love songs, all of that kind of thing, I just wanted something romantic like that from my husband towards me too. I also have another friend whose husband writes her love letters all the time, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, I just want my husband to do that, and why doesn't my husband do that for me? And I started to just feel really down, and that definitely leaked into my relationship because I was feeling frustrated and he was feeling frustrated, and it was just not a good situation. I can't really put my finger on when I started doing this, but I started noticing that one thing that my husband always does for me is he always fills up my water bottle. I can be doing work on my laptop, and he'll just come and he'll just quietly put my water bottle next to me all filled up. When I hop into bed at night, there it is, my water bottle sitting on my bedside table, fully filled up. It's something that I've never asked him to do for me, but he will always make sure that my water bottle is filled up. And I started realizing that that's something that not every husband does for his wife. That's something that my husband does for me because he loves me and he wants me to be hydrated. And that is actually really romantic, that he always fills up my water bottle for me. That was the first thing that I started to notice and started to smile every time he did that for me. And then slowly I started noticing lots of other little things that he does that I had been taking for granted for so long because I had such a specific idea of what romance looked like and what I wanted him to do for me, that I was missing the things that he was already doing for me. And I know that some of you might be sitting here right now watching this video and go, oh, that's so cute that her husband fills up her water bottle for her. My husband never brings me my water bottle. And you might feel even worse right now. So what I have done is I have made a list of 12 things that your husband might be doing for you that you haven't even noticed. So I'm just going to read you the things off of that list. Says I love you at the end of every phone call. Washes your back in the shower. Puts his hand on your leg while he's driving. Compliments the food you make even when you know you haven't done a great job. Calls you on his lunch break. Makes you coffee every morning. Offers to give you a massage when you say your back or your feet hurt. Laughs at your jokes even when you know that they're not funny. Frequently lets you pick what music you guys listen to in the car or what movie you guys watch on movie nights without complaining. Surprises you often by doing your chores for you. Tickles your back every night while you're falling asleep even when you know he's tired. Offers you his jacket every time you're cold. And finally puts his arm around you in public. Now those are only 12 things that your husband may be doing for you that you might have become desensitized to or not even noticed that those are romantic things. So I want to challenge you to really take the time after watching this video to just have a little bit of a think. What things does my husband regularly do for me that I haven't even been noticing? And then I want you to try to start to thank him every time he does that and just watch how his attitude towards you changes, your attitude towards him changes, and then watch how the romance escalates in your relationship. It's also really important for you to ask yourself, why is it so important for you that he shows you romance through this specific thing? I know so many women where getting flowers is like the epitome of romance for them. But why is that? Is that because your dad always bought your mom flowers? Is it because that's what you see in movies? Why is the idea of getting flowers so important to you? The truth is that their husband may be buying them flowers, but they're wishing that he would write them love letters like your husband does to you. Or their husband might be writing them love letters, but they're wishing that their husband holds their hand in public like your husband always does. Their husband may be holding their hand in public, but they're wishing that their husband would cook for them more frequently like your husband does. The grass always seems to be greener on the other side, doesn't it? After I stopped nagging my husband about buying me flowers and being more romantic towards me, and I just genuinely started to appreciate the little things that he was already doing for me, I noticed a really big change in his demeanor. He was playing video games less, he had more energy, he was being more affectionate towards me because he felt valued and appreciated. It just so happened that around this same time was our wedding anniversary. And on our wedding anniversary, we had decided that we were going to go out for dinner and then we were going to go to the movies. I didn't really think much of it. I just kind of thought, oh yeah, like it's nothing crazy romantic going out for dinner and a movie, but you know, it'll just be nice to spend some time together and talk about some things. And I wasn't feeling like I needed much more than just dinner and a movie. When we got to the movie theater, however, the most romantic moment of my life happened. The movie theater was packed with people, and while the commercials were playing, all of a sudden I look up at the screen and our wedding photos and our engagement photos are on the movie screen with this message coming up saying, "I love you so much, Alicia, happy anniversary." And everyone turned around and looked at us, and he was smiling. He was so happy with himself, and I felt so special. It was just the most romantic thing anyone's ever done for me, and I felt so emotional, and I still get so giddy when I think about it, that he had taken the initiative to go out and plan something like that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that you could pay for the movie theater to do that. I know though that if our anniversary had been a few months earlier, during the time that I was putting pressure on him to be more romantic and to go out of his way more, then he probably wouldn't have felt up to doing something like that. The reason he was able to pour into me and to take initiative and to be romantic is because he now had a full tank to pour out from. It's just crazy how one small change caused me to experience the most romantic moment of my life. Now, all of these things that I'm saying about changing your mindset, looking at your life differently, how you treat your husband, all of these things that are about how we can change ourselves, is not a way to give men a free pass to put no effort into their relationship. Both partners should always be striving to make the other person feel as loved and special as possible. However, sometimes when we've come to the end of our rope and we realize I cannot change him, that's the point where it's so important to realize that the only person we can change is ourselves. So I'm giving you this advice so that you can feel happy and so that you can feel loved and so that you can feel that your life is romanticized. I'm telling you all of this because I don't want your husband to be doing romantic gestures for you just as a way to try and quench your need for validation. I'm telling you this so that your husband will pour out romance over you because he's feeling loved. It's a much better cycle to be in than the one that we were talking about in the beginning of this video. Now, as a little exercise to help us ladies change our mindset so that we can have a happier, more romantic marriage, what I want us all to do is to go into the comments below and I want us all to write one romantic thing that our husband does for us. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is, just share one thing. I'll be the one to leave the first comment. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really wish you all the best in your marriages and in your long-term relationships. I post new videos every Saturday and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Love you guys. God bless. Bye.